Night an arrest in a hit and run. Police say they tracked down the driver because the license plate was left behind at the scene. 37-year-old Johnny Ruiz Jr. is accused of hitting 24-year-old Francisco Aldaco, who was weighing 90 near
Junior, can I have parties announced for the record? State. Defense.
Ray Lopez for the defense.
And are you Mr. Ruiz?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you entered a plea on January 28th of no contest to the offense of collision involving death. According to your plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 10 years in the prison. There's a $2,000 fine. The state is opposed to your applications, and there's to be restitution to the next of kin of the deceased.
Thank you, Your Honor. So you're here today asking the court for probation. Is that correct? Can you tell the court in your own words kind of what happened that day of the incident?
I just gotten off of work that day. I went to a friend of mine's. We were supposed to catch up on a video game. That's what we did most of the night. From there, we got something to eat before we got any later. Anything closed down. We ended up getting some Fred's fish that day. No, I believe they took a little bit longer. I fell asleep on a nap waiting for them. From the time they got back, I noticed it was already late. That's ice, you know what they brought. From there, I took off home for where we were staying at, where I was staying at. And during that moment, something happened and ended up. Sorry. Noticed I had hit something. Wasn't too sure what it was. The fact that it was dark that in that area. Drove a little bit further down, stopped. Before I saw the light, I believe there was a hotel there. Figured maybe I'd stop there just in case he did see anything or anything happen. I was able to offer help, honk the horn, something. So when I went down, I didn't see anything. I didn't see nothing. I didn't hear nobody. Assuming that, you know, I had struck an animal or something. So I left. Got to where I was staying at, and you know, I saw there was damage on the windshield, of course. I didn't see anything, you know, that indicated that there's a person, a dog, an animal. I'm pretty sure if I would have hit an animal or something, I would have saw blood or whatever the case is. But didn't see anything. I figured I was like, maybe somebody threw something in my car or something. I mean, if there was nothing wrong, you know. That's when I started thinking negative, like, you know, and I would have stopped there, something would happen to me. Somebody did throw something in my car. At that point, I figured this, you know, that I would have been okay. I mean, I didn't see nobody. Next morning, I knocked on the door. It was a detective and told me that there had been an accident. And I might have been involved in something, you know, an accident that happened down the street. You know, I just couldn't believe it. It just said it was an accident under a person. I asked, was everything okay? Were they okay? The detective assured me that the person was fine. I picked him up. He was in the hospital. That he was going to be fine. Except they took me in that day as well. So just, I guess, to the interrogation room or wherever they take me. They just asked me what happened that night. Same thing that I'm saying now. From that point, I mean, like I said, the detective assured me that he was going to be fine. He was okay. They just needed to find out what happened. Also told me that, you know, he was in the wrong because he was in the street. You know, far as what he told me, well, I didn't see who it was or what it was. Like, he told me that, you know, it was a person, it was. Which is, upset me. I just wouldn't think in my right mind, it would have been somebody there walking in the middle, you know, dark that late.
So when did you come to learn that the person that you hit in the collision ultimately passed away?
It wasn't until a few months later. I had learned that he passed away 2 weeks after it had been struck.
And how do you feel about, can you tell us what your mind was going through when you learned that information?
Horrible. I gotta live with
I'm sorry, what?
something that I have to live with. It's a terrible feeling.
Do you still think about it to this day?
Think about it every day. Every day. Can't go to sleep. There's times when I stay up till 4, 5 in the morning. I gotta go to work the next day. I gotta work through it. It bothers me every day.
Why do you feel that you're a good candidate for probation?
I have a family. I mean, I have my kids. I have an obligation to support my kids. I love them a lot. Back to being away from them, not being able to help them, provide food. You know, I've tried to, but the state as well, asked them, is there any way they can pay any type of restitution? You know, as well, you know, kind of take responsibility for what's going on. And for me to, for the court to grant me probation, I can continue to do my best to, you know, to work.
Past witness.
Any questions?
Yes, Judge. So Mr. Ruiz, so you said the first time that you learned that you were involved in a collision involving a person was when the detective came to the hotel. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And before the detective took you downtown to take a statement from you, he kind of spoke to you at your hotel room, right?
Yeah.
And so when he was speaking to you at that point, you told him that you believe that the damage to your vehicle was caused by a tree that had fell on the vehicle, right? Okay. And so you weren't forthcoming with him at that time, right? Okay. And regarding who is Cecilia Rodriguez?
That was supposed to be my wife or my ex-girlfriend.
Okay.
At this time.
And is she the mother of one of your children?
Yes.
Okay. And so she has no reason to say anything false against you, right?
She should.
Okay. And she was staying with you at the roadway and at that time, right? All right. And so Cecilia stated that she confronted you. So Cecilia noticed the damage, right, that night?
No, she didn't go out that night. She didn't see nothing that night.
Was it in the morning that she
was in
saw
the
it?
morning when
Okay, and so when she sees the damage to the vehicle, she confronts you about it and you tell her you don't know what happened, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then she stated that based on what she saw, she believed that you hit something, right?
I don't know exactly what she said. No.
Okay, so if that evidence is stipulated too, so I'll just move on. But Cecilia also stated that she believed that you looked inebriated on that day when you returned to the hotel room that night. Were you under the influence of alcohol or drugs?
No.
Why would Cecilia say that?
I'm not too sure, to be honest with you, because she wasn't even present of anything. You know, when I walked in trying to figure out what was going on. I undressed myself and got got into, you know, my sleep clothes.
Mhm.
I didn't really even talk to her that much. I
Yep.
mean, when I got there, she was already asleep. When I pulled, you know, you got a key card to walk in.
Mhm.
So she was asleep. Like, I don't see why she would say,
Okay, and then who's Edward Vargas?
that's a friend of mine that was, well, at the time was a friend. He was in the vehicle as well.
Okay, and so does he have any reason to say anything false against you? Okay, so my question is, why would Edward Vargas and Cecilia Rodriguez say that you told both of them that you saw something on the news regarding a hit and run?
That was afterwards.
That was the morning, right?
Yeah, that was in the morning.
Before the police showed up at your hotel?
Like,
Okay, so you had some knowledge of what was going on, correct?
yes,
All right, and just going back to Cecilia, she stated that you stated to her that you hit someone, and when you told her that, she rolled back over and went into bed.
I didn't talk to her as much as, you know, she was already in bed when I got there.
Okay, so all those other facts are correct. She was at the hotel room, she was in bed, she was asleep, she woke up briefly, but just not what you said it was not.
Yes. Understand why, how something like that would come about.
Okay,
I mean, when I got to the hotel, they were asleep. She was asleep. Kid, my son was asleep.
mm-hmm. Then later on, when you are talking with the detective, you state that you were driving the vehicle on the night of the offense and that you swerved to avoid hitting something on the side of the road and didn't stop, correct?
Yes.
But you were driving that vehicle that night, correct? You were the one that was involved in the collision that caused the death, correct?
Yes.
And you weren't exactly forthcoming in the investigation, right?
And at the time when he asked me these questions, I didn't know where he was going with it. So there might have been a little defense on my end, yes.
Okay. And then I know you said to this court that the court should grant you probation because you have family and kids that you have to provide for. I mean, do you think that's fair? The victim has kids that he can't provide for or be there for. Do you think that is fair?
I was of the understanding that he didn't have any kids.
Well, he does, and they're here today. I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Any further questions?
No, this wouldn't show.
A few questions if there are no
Yes, ma'am.
objections. All right, so in the stipulations, when the officer comes to the hotel, you say that you said that a tree caused the damage to your vehicle?
Yes.
All right, so you're saying you thought that or what?
Well,
Did a tree fall on your vehicle?
No,
So why did you think a tree caused damage to your vehicle?
at that time that night, I felt like when I didn't see anything that the next morning was.
No, I'm just wondering,
I didn't know what he was going with it, Your Honor. I thought maybe I was, you know, at that point getting blamed for something else that I.
so did you know a tree had not fallen on your vehicle or caused damage to your vehicle?
Yes, I did. It didn't.
So you knew that it wasn't a tree? I need yes or no.
Yes,
All right, and then according to the stipulations, there were 2 pedestrians in the roadway. So did you see any of those pedestrians? And then it states that this Rodriguez person, they're stating in the stipulations that you stated you did a hit and run and that you hit somebody and then you rolled over and went back to sleep. So did you ever tell that person you hit someone?
No.
So why would they say that?
no,
Okay.
I mean, I didn't speak to her that night. When I got there, she was angry because I got there late.
Mhm.
But as far as physically talking to her, like I said, she was already in bed. My son was already asleep.
All right, thank you. All right, any further questions?
No question, Your Honor.
No, Judge.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. The court is going to find you guilty. The court is going to sentence you to 10 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's a $2,000 fine. Time and money will run concurrent. There's to be restitution to Francisco Aldaco, and that is to be payable to his next of kin, which is Juanita Aldaco. All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. Any time that somebody does time in prison or Bear County Jail or in custody is a lot of time. But you still have more of your life in front of you to be a better person. You understand?
Say they tracked down the driver because the license plate was left behind at the scene. 37-year-old Johnny Ruiz Jr. is accused of hitting 24-year-old Francisco Aldaco, who was walking yesterday morning. This happened off Old Highway 90 near Penn Road. Aldaco was left with serious injuries. Police say they later found Ruiz's car in the parking lot of a local motel. When officers asked him about the damage to his front windshield, he reportedly told them a tree fell on his car. A witness reportedly told police that Ruiz appeared to be drunk the night of the crash.